Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you thought the Cleveland Browns were going to roll into the 2024 NFL season with a clear-cut quarterback situation, think again. Because, as of this week, the Browns made a major decision that's going to have ripple effects across their entire approach to the season. They announced that Joe Flacco will be their starting quarterback for Week 1. That might come as a surprise to some, especially considering the buzz around the young guns like Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel. Both of these guys have shown flashes of potential, and many fans and analysts alike believed they might push their way into the starting role. But the Browns, at least for now, are sticking with the veteran experience of Flacco, a guy who's been around the league for quite some time and who has a reputation for being a steady, if not spectacular, presence under center. This decision, however, isn't just about Week 1, it's about the broader picture of the team's direction. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns' head coach, is in a bit of a tight spot. The Browns have been in a bit of a limbo, not quite contenders, not quite rebuilders. And with a roster that has some talent, but also some holes, Stefanski's job security could very well depend on how well this season goes. If they stumble out of the gate, especially with the quarterback position not quite settled, the pressure on Stefanski to produce wins will only increase. That's why the choice of Flacco as the starter isn't just a short-term move. It's a signal that Cleveland might be prioritizing stability over youth, at least for now. But here's where it gets really interesting for the Browns and their future plans. Even though Flacco is the Week 1 starter, the team's long-term quarterback plans are anything but set in stone. Dillon Gabriel, the former Oregon standout, and Shedeur, who had a notable college career and comes in with a lot of hype, are both in the mix. In the latest unofficial depth chart reported by ESPN, Gabriel was listed as the third-string quarterback, while Sanders was right behind him at fourth. That's a significant detail. It suggests that while they're giving Flacco the start, the Browns are also keeping a close eye on their development, especially Gabriel, who many see as having the best shot at becoming the long-term starter. Now, why would Cleveland keep Gabriel and Sanders so far down the depth chart? Well, it all comes down to experience, performance, and the future. Gabriel, being a third-round pick, has shown enough in preseason to warrant that spot, but he's still behind Flacco, who brings veteran leadership and stability. Sanders, despite some flashes of talent, is still very much a project at this stage. But don't forget, the NFL is a league where things change fast. If Gabriel continues to impress in practice and preseason games, and if Sanders shows significant development, the Browns could have a quarterback decision on their hands sooner rather than later, possibly even by Week 4 or later in the season. This decision by Cleveland also reflects a broader strategic approach. They're trying to balance winning now with building for the future. The team's roster is filled with talented players, but the quarterback position has been a question mark for years. Cleveland has tried to find stability at the position, and while Flacco might not be the long-term answer, he provides a bridge, giving the team some breathing room to develop Gabriel or Sanders without feeling the pressure to rush either one into action. It's a cautious, yet smart approach, especially considering the competitive nature of the AFC North, which is stacked with tough defenses, talented quarterbacks, and playoff-caliber teams. Let's get a bit more into the background here. Dillon Gabriel, who transferred from Oklahoma to Oregon before entering the NFL, has shown flashes of being a capable passer. He's got good mobility, decent arm strength, and a calmness in the pocket that NFL teams look for. He was taken in the third round, which indicates that Cleveland saw enough in him to give him a real shot at competing for the starting job in the near future. His preseason performances have been encouraging, showing that he can handle NFL-level defenses and make accurate throws under pressure. Still, as a third-round pick, the Browns aren't going to hand him the keys just yet. They want to see more, and with Flacco leading the charge in Week 1, Gabriel can continue to learn and grow in a less pressured environment. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, has been a bit of a wild card. Coming from Colorado, where he put up impressive numbers and garnered a lot of attention, he entered the NFL with high expectations. Despite being drafted in the 5th round, Sanders has charisma and talent that the Browns are obviously interested in nurturing. But at this point, he's still behind Gabriel on the depth chart. The team is probably giving him time to develop his understanding of the game at the pro level, adjusting to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. His preseason showed some flashes, but consistency remains a work in progress. The Browns are probably thinking long-term with Sanders, and if he can develop within their system, he might very well become a starter down the line. This entire situation is a reflection of Cleveland's ongoing quest to find stability and success at quarterback. The franchise has struggled to find their franchise guy for years. They've tried different veterans, drafted quarterbacks early, and developed some promising talents, but nothing has stuck for long. Now, with Flacco, Gabriel, and Sanders, they've got a mix of experience and youth. It's a delicate balancing act, and the decision to start Flacco in Week 1 might be just the beginning of a longer process. Looking ahead, fans should keep an eye on how Gabriel and Sanders perform as the season progresses. If Gabriel can show he's ready to lead, and Sanders continues to develop, the Browns could be looking at a quarterback competition that heats up as the season unfolds. The Browns' coaching staff will be closely monitoring their performances, trying to gauge who has the best potential to be their future franchise quarterback. It's a situation that keeps fans on the edge of their seats, wondering whether the next big Browns quarterback is already on the roster or still waiting in the wings. Of course, it's worth remembering that Cleveland's roster is not just about the quarterback. The team has a solid defense, an improving offensive line, and talented skill players. But the quarterback position is the linchpin. If Cleveland can find stability at that position, they could be serious playoff contenders sooner rather than later. The AFC North is brutal, with teams like Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh always in the mix. The Browns need their quarterback to step up, and while Flacco might be the Week 1 starter, the future is still very much open for debate. This entire scenario also speaks to the coaching strategy of Kevin Stefanski. He's known for his ability to develop quarterbacks and build strong offensive schemes. His job security depends on how well he manages this transition period, especially with the quarterback situation so clearly in flux. Stefanski's experience and his ability to get the most out of his offense will be tested early in the season. The Browns' success this year could very well hinge on their ability to develop Gabriel or Sanders into a consistent starter, even if Flacco gets the initial nod. And let's not forget the fans. Browns fans are some of the most passionate in the NFL, and they're craving stability and success. The decision to start Flacco might disappoint those hoping to see Gabriel or Sanders take the reins right away, but it's also a sign that Cleveland is serious about building a team that can contend both now and in the future. It's a long road, and patience will be key. But one thing is for sure, the Browns are not just hanging around, they're carefully plotting their next moves, and the quarterback position is at the center of it all. The season is just around the corner, and every game will count more than ever. The Browns have a tough schedule, and their Week 1 matchup will be closely watched to see how Flacco handles the pressure. Meanwhile, Gabriel and Sanders will be developing behind the scenes, showing what they can do when given the chance. The coming weeks will be crucial for their careers and for Cleveland's championship aspirations. Fans should be excited, because this is the kind of story that keeps a team interesting: young talent, veteran leadership, and a coaching staff trying to piece it all together. So, as we look ahead, it's clear that Cleveland's quarterback situation isn't just about Week 1. It's about setting a foundation for the future and making strategic decisions that could define the franchise for years to come. Whether Gabriel eventually becomes the starter, Sanders surprises everyone, or Flacco continues to lead the team through a tough season, one thing is certain: Cleveland fans should stay tuned, because this story is far from over. The season is full of possibilities, and the Browns are definitely a team to watch, not just for what happens on the field, but for how they navigate this critical phase of their rebuild. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Geo ahead, IT's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback decision? Do you think Flacco is the right guy for Week 1, or are you already dreaming of Gabriel or Sanders taking over sooner rather than later? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns, because it's your passion that fuels this entire community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the season has in store for this team. The Browns are building something special, and the journey is just getting started.